Hi, I'm Suzy Rains, and welcome to Starting a Business Simplified. These are special episodes geared towards sharing my journey and how I work in my business and all of the ups and downs that go with it. As you listen to these episodes, you're going to learn more about me, the resources that I use, the personal and professional growth that I go through, and how I work in my business. In order to follow this particular journey, you will see in the title of each episode, Suzy's Journey. That's going to identify that this is part of the series that I'm recording specifically for what it is that I'm doing in my business. I'm so excited that you're here, and I look forward to going on this journey with you. As always, keep it simple. Welcome back to Suzy's Journey on Starting a Business Simplified. What was missing? So as you know from the last episode, I was talking about my journey to this point of having my own business and realizing that business planning and starting a business simplified is really what I wanted to do and my passion. I was head on into this idea and loved it and was so excited. My husband supported me. I was supported financially as well as emotionally. All the lines were connected, all the stars aligned. I felt like this was my purpose. This was last year being 2022. So I jumped in. I had written a workbook. My workbook was simplifying writing out a business plan, and I was so confident about it. I was like, yes, this is exactly what people need, and it's going to be amazing. And they're going to fill it out and then launch their business and be so happy that they did. And I had all of this wonderful energy in it, and crickets. I published it on Amazon. I did get a few sales there. I did do some market research. I sent it out to some people that were willing to test it out. And the feedback that I got was, this is a great workbook, but I need help going through it. So what happened is the content was good, but it's still not simplified enough. So the workbook, doing it on your own when you don't have any business background and you've never started a business before, or you're not really clear on what goes into a business plan, people were telling me they still needed help, which was great because that's great feedback. And I love feedback. I've always been that way. I don't take it personally. I'm like, tell me what you see, think, and feel. It's going to help me adjust and change and do better. I do like constructive criticism. I am human and I can get my feelings hurt too. That's something that happens, but I like to think of things in an open mind. So when people do say things to me, if it does hurt me, I take a minute and I think it through, and I think, why did that hurt my feelings? And a lot of times it's me looking in the mirror and saying, you know what, they were right. And I don't like that's true. So I'm going to go ahead and take what they said and improve and try to do better and work on whatever it is that came back. So with the workbook, I was like, oh, I'm going to launch a coaching program. I'm going to help people go through the workbook. So I went to work doing just that, creating a 12-week program where I walk people through how to start their business through doing a workbook and doing the work and putting in the effort and answering the questions. And that works. I'm not going to say it doesn't work. It does work. It does get the job done to figure out what it is you need in a business plan. Totally true. But what was missing? And I'm going to go back to that again. Something is missing. Okay, so this coaching program I launched at the end of 2022, towards the end of the year, and was working with clients, and there was still something missing. So in January 2023, so we're getting up to right about now, getting close to, we're in April of 2023 right now. So I'm getting you up to speed on my progress and things that have been happening up until this point of when you're listening to this podcast, if you're listening to it real time. I was missing from my coaching program. I was missing from my workbook. I was missing me internally, me who I am, to help people. So in January, I hired a coach. This is the first time that I personally hired a coach for me. I'd hired other people to do work in my business, marketing and setting up a program and all of that stuff. That was easy for me to do. But to do the internal work that I needed to do to figure out exactly what my purpose was and how to energetically share that with everybody so that the right people who need my help will find me, I had to do that internal work. So I hired a coach, did one-on-one coaching, was absolutely amazing, and really started me down the path of really understanding and looking at myself, sharing myself. And it developed into what I do now, which is I speak directly to women leaving a medical profession in order to start a business. That was created out of my time learning about me. It helped open my eyes to realize that while there are thousands and thousands of people out there that need help starting a business, my people are the people that are going through what I did. So I'm reaching out to the medical community, women specifically, because I'm a woman and I understand it. So that was my story. I came from medical and I tried to transition to a business and I struggled and I didn't do a plan and it was even harder and a lot of things happening over and over and over again. And I was in this vicious loop. And so I understand it. Well, you're listening to this podcast episode because I'm learning about myself and I'm learning how to look within in order to know what to present to the world and what it is I should be talking about on the podcast. How can I help my clients better? How can I help you as the listener know what steps to take and be more confident in starting your business? There's so many things that I can contribute once I go inside. So I hired a coach and I worked with them until March. And then once I was done with them, I was introduced to my new coach. I'm going to give you a little caveat on coaching here for a second. Investing in a coach is the best investment you will ever make. I'm going to repeat that. Investing in a coach is the best investment you will ever make. What I'm going to say after that is make sure you find the right one for you. I'm a coach. I'm not going to pitch to you my coaching offer. I'm going to recommend based on what you tell me. If we get on a conversation together and I hear your story and I hear what you're struggling with, if I'm a good fit and I know that I can help you, I'm going to make that known. And then I'm going to ask you to use your intuition and to ask me questions to bring out of me what you need to know so that you know if it's a good fit. I will turn people away if I can't help them or if they're looking for something that I don't offer. I have a huge referral list that I use. And if I don't have a right fit for somebody, I make sure and give them names that I know of, that I can say, oh, I don't do that or I can't help you in that area, but hey, here's a list of people that I know can. So I am going to say, investing in a coach is the best investment you can make when you find the right one. So my current coach that I work with, she's going to be on my podcast. I'm going to leave that a little secret. You guys can find out when you listen to her episode. I put out into the universe what I needed. I said, I need somebody that I can see that's doing what I want to do so that I have an example and I can look at that person and go, they're doing it. That means I can do it too. I was asking for a confirmation on what I should be doing in my business and how I should be approaching things. And when you ask the universe, God, higher power, whatever it is that you believe in, it will be revealed to you. I believe that wholeheartedly, and I'm practicing that now. This is new for me, and I started it in March, but I'm doing it every day, and it's happening for me. So I'm sharing it with you, listeners out there. For those of you that are thinking, I don't know what to do, ask. If you want to journal about it, you can write it down in a journal and say, universe, God, whatever you want to call it, ask the question, what do I need in this situation? Give me confirmation about X, Y, and Z. I'm torn between making a decision about A or B. Which one should I choose? Ask. It will be revealed to you. And tapping into your intuition, which in the first episode I described to you, I was using my intuition, but I didn't know I was. And I was young and I was new and I didn't understand what it meant. Now that I'm digging deeper and I'm going internally and I'm thinking about things more and observing my thoughts and I'm becoming aware, I'm realizing how to use my intuition specifically. And I'm learning how to ask for things to be revealed. And I'm learning how to speak in the present, things that are happening that I have visually am putting out and saying, this is what I'm doing. It's happening today and it's going to unfold tomorrow. So I know I kind of went on a tangent there, but I really want to impress upon you that you're listening. I didn't invest in a coach for almost a year. And I want to share, don't make that mistake, but make sure that you find the right one. So do research, ask people, ask the universe, who should my coach be? And then watch and see what people get put into your path. My coach came to me, perfect example. She's exactly what I needed at that time. I'm still working with her. Again, she's going to be on my podcast. Little plug there. I'm not going to say who it is, though. You're going to have to listen to find out. And we're going to talk about this more. But she was perfect for what I needed and opened my eyes to a stream of information that I didn't even know existed. So everything happens for a reason and everything has a purpose to it. And I'm going to have more guests come on the podcast where you're going to hear this message over and over again, not just from me, but from other people who are experiencing the same thing. What was missing in my business was me. Until I started looking at me and analyzing and really observing what my thoughts are about things, what do I want to say, using my intuition to know, this podcast series came out of my intuition. I met with my coach. We did some talking. I met with somebody else. I joined a program that is absolutely amazing. And I'm going to share that in a future podcast, but I'm not going to do it today. These are all things that I'm doing because everything builds on itself. So as I hired a coach and I'm working with her, things are revealed. More things got revealed and I took action. Now more stuff is being revealed. My intuition was saying, Suzy, you need to share. Share with these people that you're talking to out here in the world what you are doing, because what you're doing is going to help them. And they're going to know, because when they hear it, their intuition is going to kick in. And they're going to go, man, I'm glad I listened to that podcast. Now I have an idea about something that I want to do. And it's going to inspire and it's going to send that energy out into the world for those people that are ready to receive it. So what was missing in my business was me. And I'm on the journey right now of discovering and becoming a better version of me and sharing it with you guys as I go. So the rest of these episodes that you listen to, you're going to hear real time what's happening with me. So this week, when I'm recording this, it's the 20th of April. This is when I'm recording this, but you're going to see it. I think I have it scheduled to go out next week. It's April, so you're going to see it in April. This is what's happening with me right now. This podcast series, episode series that I'm doing, Suzy's Journey, was created out of my intuition and the work that I've done, learning about myself to know what to do next. And I created it because I was called to create it. And the people that are listening were meant to be hearing it right now. So those of you that are listening, you can ask yourself and the universe, God and higher power, whatever you believe in, you can ask, what am I supposed to be doing now that I've heard this episode? And you will get an answer. So I truly believe that everything has a purpose and everything is in timing. It all comes at the time it needs to. We create everything that's in our environment and around us and what we're doing. So listening to this podcast and me recording this podcast was divine intervention. We're together and this is how it's supposed to happen. So to close out this episode, I am now going inside myself, figuring out what it is that I'm doing, my purpose, how I can help others, asking the questions to be revealed to me, and I'm bringing them to you throughout this journey that I'm taking during these episodes in this series. So I hope you're enjoying following along my wonderful journey, and I'm going to be open and honest about the things that are happening, and I'm going to share with you what I'm doing so that it can be inspirational for you and maybe spark some intuitive thinking and some ways that you're thinking, now I know what to do. So stay tuned to the future episodes. I'm excited that you're here. I appreciate you all listening and following me on my journey. And as always, keep it simple. Thanks for listening to this episode of Starting a Business Simplified, Navigating the Shift. If you enjoyed this episode, then hit the subscribe or follow button on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. This podcast is for you, so be sure to reach out and let me know what you thought about this episode. If you're not sure how to get started with your business, download a copy of the Starting a Business Simplified guide. Click on the link in the show notes for your copy.